I do want to sort of challenge this notion of why does a woman desiring romantic partnership and romantic love automatically equate to centering men? Like,
Century men are not needing a man. It's a lie. It's all BS, because women that say they want to decenter men, they secretly and privately crave so hard for a romantic relationship. Hey guys, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny and welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. So this video is a video of a woman who came online and it has struck a big conversation, and for like it's really interesting conversation. She wanted to talk about how the dissenter men movement is like a BS, not like the dissenter men conversation is a BS, because a lot of women that comes out to talk about dissenter men are lonely and they desire companionship so bad, and they cannot say that that is it, because that is how human beings are created. We want a relationship so bad. So when women say they want to dissenter men, that is them projecting their insecurity, their loneliness, and that is not true. There are a lot of women that push that narratives are just like, you know what, because they can't get a good mouth, they can't be in a relationship, they are just pulling everybody, but deep down inside they want to be in a relationship. And she wanted to talk about how some people are not in a relationship because they are not desirable enough, they are not the beauty standard, and that can also affect why some people will also say dissenter men. Which this whole thing about the sentiment is striking a bigger conversation, and I'm here for it because I feel like we really need to get to the root of what we mean as women of decentering men. Because I feel like some people are getting it as like, when we say decenter men, it means like we are men haters, we don't like men, we don't like relationship and all that. Anyway, guys, let's just get into this video. Let's go check out what she has to say, and then we'll come back and talk more.
Not intellectualize yourself out of the human desire to be loved, and that's why I think this entire like decenter men, get hobbies instead of dating, it's all BS, and it's coming from people who are too embarrassed to admit how lonely they are out of some like shame they feel for perpetual loneliness. I will explain. All over my For You page, and especially my Twitter, over the past like 2 weeks, people have been discussing this topic, which granted is a reoccurring topic, that like, you need to decenter men. That phrase should exclusively apply to not teaching girls that the best thing they can do in life is become a wife and mother, in terms of like, don't center your life around being an accessory to a man's dream, right? Like, you should have your own personhood. What it does not refer to, and what I think it's very detrimental to tell single people that it refers to, is this idea that like, you shouldn't prioritize like romantic love, right? Human civilizations across time, almost every civilization has prioritized familial love, platonic love, like the love between your friends, and romantic love. It's the stuff that makes up our fairy tales. It inspires our hopes and dreams. We are wired to want these things. Humans are social creatures. We're meant to live in community with one another. We're programmed to love and to be loved. And pretending like you can just watch these TikToks or like read a couple of books, get out of this human desire, is nuts. And it doesn't even apply when you look at the ways we treat the enduring grief that comes with not having the two other types of love besides romantic, right? Because if I say like, I don't have a family, my parents are dead, siblings, or I don't have a good family, I don't have contact with them, people recognize that that is enduring grief that I will experience for the rest of my life. We acknowledge it on Mother's Day, Father's Day, the holiday season. We hold space to listen to the stories of those who are hurting, even those who have found family. Just this idea that like, there is something so painful about not having anyone who's related to you or the people who raised you. Similarly, we hold space for people who don't have any friends. People talk about how traumatic and genuinely heartbreaking it was to not have friends in primary school. It's something that still like tinges when they're an adult. And then when people discuss how lonely they are because they don't have romantic love, then it's suddenly like, oh, you're so desperate. Oh, you need to get over that. You just need to get a hobby. Frankly, you should stop trying to pursue it. And it's like, why? And I never realized how hypocritical and cruel we were being to single people until I got into my current relationship. And like, I know that I'm going to marry my boyfriend. This is the best relationship that I've ever been in. I'm genuinely really happy. And it made me realize like, so much of the advice that we give to single people is just absolute. People that a healthy, happy relationship is not something to want feels crazy, because if you are watching this right now and you are in a happy, healthy relationship, you know damn well that it's better than being single. even the best times that I had being single, because there's something about being fulfilled romantically. And it's not something that can be made up for with my friends or my family, even though I have very strong friends and family relationships. It's just not the same. And that's fine. Why do we meet people with such disdain when they say they're lonely, especially knowing the onus we put on women, especially to get partnered? This advice is never coming from people who are like either really happy with being single or who are in happy, healthy relationships. It's coming from people who are fighting back the tears when they're making these videos or giving out this advice like, well, actually, I'm fine with my state and you need to be too because I don't want to hear anybody else talking about it. Like, that's very much the energy that it gives. And I'll end it on this note. There is a particularly disingenuous way that we talk about people who have been affected by the lack of romantic love when they acknowledge that it's because they don't meet the beauty standard, right? Like, yes, everybody is beautiful, but we know that some people they meet a specific beauty standard, and the people who don't, you have a harder time dating. Why are you making them feel bad for saying that? A girl got on my For You page and she was talking about the fact she was a heavy girl. She was talking about the fact that her weight made boys not like her. I've never been fat, but I know that that's true because I see how people treat other fat people. And the comments were gaslighting her. They were like, no, like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. Like, you know damn well. It feels so mean, especially if you're a person who's like always gotten romantic connections or you've always been desired romantically, to tell a person who's never had that, who's like on the internet crying or in real life crying, like, I wish this happened to me, and be like, it's actually not that great. Like, you don't need it. Like, it's like looking at a starving person and then eating a hamburger and knowing that your entire life you've just like binged out of the most decadent foods and being like, the food's actually not that good. Like, you're fine. You don't need this. Anyway, the post-gym glow is like so real.
So ladies, let's talk about decentering men in your lives. But before we go any further, let me explain to you what this video is not about. Number one, it's not about hating men, because that's a trauma response. Number two, this video is not about saying relationships are not an integral part of our lives, because they are. So that said, let us then look at what decentering men is all about. This is a concept that comes from the understanding that many women put relationships at the core of their lives. Now, this is all good until you realize that solely focusing on relationships means that you miss other aspects of your life. So decentering men, therefore, is about putting yourself at the center of your life, to say that if I put myself at the center, then I'm going to self-actualize. Then I'm going to reach my highest potential. As a woman, I have so many aspects to me that I should also focus on, because collectively those aspects bring a fuller version of me. So think of yourself like an octopus. An octopus has so many legs, and these legs could represent different aspects of your lives. So this means that maybe leg one could be your relationship, leg two could be your parenting, leg three could be your job, leg four could be your dreams, leg five could be your hobbies, leg six could be friendships, and many other things that matter to you as a woman. So decentering men, therefore, is about you understanding that I matter. My life should be about waking up to ask myself, what can I do to improve my life today? Not what should I do to make my relationship better. There's going to be certain moments where your focus is on relationships, because like I said, we want relationships. We are social beings and they matter to us. But if you want to grow and fully embrace who you are as a woman, then relationships cannot be your only focus on your life. Most women, the moment they open their mouth, the first thing they talk about is their relationships. Hello, what about your dreams? Hello, what about your hobbies? What about all other aspects of your life? So decentering men, therefore, is about putting yourself back at the center, to say everyone in my life and everything in my life should work together to help me achieve my fullest potential.
Like, decenter men, get hobbies instead of dating. It's all BS.
Respectfully, decentering men and romantic love is not about being lonely. It's not about, trying to replace a romantic relationship. It's about not putting romantic love on this pedestal that we've been socialized to put it on. Most romantic relationships are not permanent. And so that means we need to have a life outside of them, because as soon as a romantic partner is no longer present, we have to have a support system and a strong enough sense of self to still be happy anyway.
Loved, and that's why I think this entire like decenter men, get hobbies instead of dating.
I do see both sides. I'm somebody that I do feel like I'm ready for a relationship at this point in my life. That's what I want. I don't have no shame in admitting that. I will get it when it's ready to come to me. I also have noticed, though, when I focus on myself, right? When I pick up hobbies and do things that make me feel fulfilled, the desire for the relationship, it doesn't go away, but it dies down a little bit, it kind of fades out, because I have other things that are fulfilling me and reminding me, hey, you could be happy in this way. You could be fulfilled in this way.
Like, decenter men, get hobbies instead of dating. It's all BS.
Okay, so while I agree with this premise that like you can't intellectualize your way out of desiring romantic partnership, I do want to sort of challenge this notion of why does a woman desiring romantic partnership and romantic love automatically equate to centering men? Like, men also desire partnership, but men do not center women in that desire. But women are expected to center men and structure their lives around men, partnership, husband, being a wife, family, all of those things. So why do women exist within that double standard? And honestly, I think that's a better question and conversation to have than the one of, oh, decenter men or decentering men is BS. Because no, we should be challenging why a desire for partnership and romantic love requires women to behave in certain ways and act in certain ways. And of course, like, we can definitely point that to patriarchy and the way women are conditioned to aspire to becoming a wife, a mother, all of that stuff, and like get trained into the labor of being able to reach those roles in a way that men aren't. But I feel like we're not asking the right things or having the right conversation. So I still agree with the belief that women need to decenter men. I think that's a place that we should be getting to. And I honestly think to get to a place where women can like desire partnership and pursue romantic partnership with men without all of the conditions that presently exist, we will need to have some dramatic changes so that men and women sort of get back on an even playing field as far as dating, because right now women are sort of at a disadvantage. Yeah. And this becomes even clearer if you add in race or disability, and if you add in if Black women only wants to date Black men, you're at a disadvantage, numbers wise, education wise, you're at a disadvantage. So I don't know how you can get past that disadvantage without centering men in your life. And so we need to really be thinking about how do we even the playing field for men and women when it comes to pursuing romantic relationships, because as I said before, the expectations of women, of the behaviors that women are expected to engage in order to get romantic partnership, or the behaviors they're expected to put up with in order to maintain and stay in a romantic partnership, is not at all what's expected of men. And so we need to I do think decentering men is a good challenge to have, and I feel like we might need to get to a point where there's some sacrifices around what you will do to pursue your desire for romantic love if it's not getting you the outcomes that you want and the treatment that you deserve. And that's going to take some sacrifice, and I don't think that sacrifice discounts the desire for romantic love and partnership, but I still think it's a worthy.
I love to know your own take down in the comment section. As always, feel free to share your opinion. But please, here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree. So do you think decentering men means that women that decenter men don't want a romantic relationship? Let me know your own thought. Love to know what you think. So here's my own thoughts. Before I go, I like always telling you guys, I am married. I've been with my partner for 20 years, and yet I am telling women to decenter men. Like the last creator was pointing out, why is it that when they say a woman should desire for romantic relationship, it always has to involve centering a man and acting a certain way. But when it comes for a man desiring a romantic relationship, it has nothing to do with the man centering women in it. And I feel like this kind of panned out into the place where most men actually think that they are the prize, and if they are with you, they are with you, they are doing you a favor. And this has made, my own personal opinion, this has made a lot of men to act and give the bare minimum in relationship and know that they can get away, because we as women, we've been programmed to be in relationship that does not serve us. And then I also want to point out that when we say decenter men, that does not mean we are talking about, we're saying that, oh, don't desire romantic relationship, even though I posted a video that they said romantic relationship is an illusion, okay? But that's another topic. That does not mean that as a woman, as decentering man, you don't have the desire to be in a relationship with a man. That just shows that you are not, like, I would say I have a man, I have a whole husband, but I decenter men. My husband knows that I'll be 100% myself. I'll stand on business, on the things I believe. I'm not going to walk or navigate life just so that he feels comfortable and know that why I display me and what I stand for, who I am and who I am as a person. But that is what society for the longest time has inducted women into, where a lot of women actually feel like they have to be a certain way, they have to act a certain way, they have to get certain things ready, they have to like really act up this whole life, this whole thing just to keep a man, just to keep a romantic relationship going. And we've seen multiple times where we see some men and some women in relationship, and over time this man is not even ready for commitment. This man will just come and give you the bare minimum, and sometimes he will give you a shut up ring when you're making too much wrong, because he's really not doing much in the relationship. You as a woman, you're putting so much work into it. That aside, talking about, oh, everybody desire a fairy tale and clinical and all that, a platonic relationship. I get it. As human beings, we want relationship, whether it be friendship, a partner, we want it. It is what it is. But one question I want to pose out to you out there is that, would you rather have a relationship with a man, like have a romantic relationship with a man and get the bare minimum out of it in life and still not be happy in the relationship, feel miserable, feel lonely? Because a lot of people usually equate having a relationship with a man, having a romantic relationship with a man has not been lonely. But I can tell you for sure, there are lots of women in relationship that are very, very lonely. But like I personally, what I would say and what I always tell people here on this channel and what I always advocate for is that we're not saying we don't need men, but what I want a woman to do is that heal yourself. I would say it, that's the gospel here. Do the work, heal yourself, love yourself, know exactly what you want, and know who you are. And that just helps the all type of things you stand for. A lot of women, they've not been able to heal themselves. They've not able to know who they are, heal their trauma, know what they want, and all they just want to have a relationship. And even when if a good man even comes, sometimes they can't even handle it because they have a lot of trauma that is making them act and respond to certain things. So they can't even be in the place of receiving. But when you are in that place, where you're in that place of, you know yourself, you know who you are, you know your value, and you're not just going to settle for just anything, just in the name of being in a romantic relationship. The type of relationship that comes to you is a different one. The type of environment, the way you navigate life is different. And when people say, oh, people that decenter men, they are lonely. Are you kidding me? Oh God, like I said, when you've done all the work and you know who you are and all that, the way you exist, the way you love yourself, because at that point in time when you're very self-aware, you know who you are, you're very protective of the people and the energy you have around you, including with friendship and even including with family. You're very protective. So you're not just going to allow just anybody to come in, and it has nothing to do, you will not be lonely. Because the way you love yourself, the way you spend time with yourself is different from where you look out for other people to validate your existence and how you navigate life. But when you know the work, you know the people you have in your life, you have them in your life because you want them in your life, because they make you a better person. They bring the better version of yourself. Some women are in relationship. I just did the PDD video now. Some women are in relationship like PDD relationship with Cassie, just because in the name of being in a relationship, in the name of I can get out of it, they are just there. And that's why I said you need to do the work. Because when you do the work, the way you move is different. The way you speak up is different. And the truth is that a lot of these men, a lot of these toxic men, which there are a lot out there now, that they are disgenuine, they are not honest, they just want to get laid, they just want a woman that's going to take care of their needs and all that. A lot of these men, they can sense it. So when you're that woman that they know you've not done, or you carry that energy of you've not done the work, that you need that romantic relationship, these men, they capitalize on it and they give you risatisa. And that is not what you want for yourself. So what I tell young ladies, there's nothing wrong with wanting a relationship. There's nothing wrong with it. But go do the work yourself so that you know exactly what you want and you're not going to settle for the bare minimum. It's better for you to be single and living your best life than for you to be in a relationship, be miserable, be lonely, and question your existence, be sad, be unhappy. I can tell you, there's this joke we always make. My friends, they always make this joke. They said, I'm a married single woman because I live my life like I am single, even though I'm married, love my husband and all that, but I am still an individual. I know who I am. I move like an individual. And when it's time to come as a partner, I show up as a partner. But I'm not going to move. I'm not going to be a wife first, rather before being destiny. Anyway, guys, I'd love to know your own take about this amazing conversation down in the comment section. But please keep it respectful as always. Go on and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see. And that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl, yeah. Okay, so go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.